Hello world, I'm Attila. Today I will talk about the AI Superpowers book. And this was a book about AI and how it is like a global thing and whether the China or the US will win the AI race. It mostly advocated for China and why it has strong chances. And it also talked about our problems with AI and his solution. So, when AlphaGo became the best Go player in the world. Go is a very difficult Chinese game, and this play between the world champion in Go and the AlphaGo algorithm or robot depended in China. So this was a turning point for the Chinese culture and the Chinese government. It was the Sputnik moment when they saw that that there is a massive technological gap between China and the US in the field of AI. And they saw that AI is so powerful, it is how powerful, and that it will be a very important thing in the future. So they saw the opportunity in AI and started investing in it. Since then, like the Chinese government invested massive amount of money into AI, and the Chinese venture capitalist investors are making up 48% of all AI venture funding globally, surpassing even the US. So AI will probably be China's greatest opportunity to catch up with and possibly surpass the United States. So AI is a winner takes all market, and China wants to compete in that because with AI, the player with the most possible data will win. So for example, nobody is nowhere near Google search, near Google in the search territory because they have the most data. And China has a core advantage when they want to catch up with Google, for example, because there are two separate internet universes. There is the global internet universe and there is China. So China has this massive firewall. They block most US companies from competing in China in order to support their own companies. So for example, they block Google, so they enable Chinese AI firms and companies to compete in the Chinese market. And this wouldn't be possible in other markets because there is not enough data and there is not enough users. But in China, with 1 billion citizens, it is possible, and Chinese companies are very strong. And the government also eagerly supports the AI industry, first by blocking foreign companies from competing. But in some cases, so for example, they allow for foreign companies to come in. So for example, they allowed Tesla to come in order to, like, Tesla will they will employ a lot of people there in China, but then that people will be fired or that people will be hired by other Chinese EV companies, and these EV companies throughout the people will be able to copy the ideas of Tesla, because if they have a strong EV competition, they know that Tesla will be the future of EV and they want to catch up. So China have a very cutthroat entrepreneurial environment, and this will be a very important asset going forward, they say, because for years Chinese entrepreneurs copycatted the US startups. So for example, after Facebook became successful, there was a Facebook copycat in China, and then there is a Facebook copycat of YouTube, and there is a Facebook copycat of everything. So there is this copying culture, and because there is massive domestic competition within China, the strongest entrepreneurs will win, who are willing to invest in a lot of time, who are willing to work a lot. And for years, when the US tourists visited China, they would buy, for example, a Chinese Apple or iPhone copycat, and they would laugh on it, and it would be a joke because it had a shiny exterior, so it looked the same, but the product wasn't that good. But this is changing. And this cutthroat Chinese domestic competition forged a generation of gladiator entrepreneurs who are willing to put a lot of time invest in a lot of time, and who are willing to work a lot because they know that otherwise the competition from China will catch up. And then when US companies do enter China, mostly these Chinese companies won because US companies are unwilling to adapt to the local needs, and they don't have the same expertise, and they don't have the crazy hours worked as Chinese companies do. And the Chinese government knows that data is the key, so because they have a monopoly, they allow the data to be collected from its citizens. But if they want to be an AI superpower, they know that they also have to have AI experts. So they support their own AI community. And the book says that the AI community is already very strong. The only thing that they don't have is this AI superstar researchers who in the US constantly make headlines with all these major breakthroughs. But it says that the real work is not done with these big headlines in the newspaper, but the real work is the slow, gradual process. And it's a work for tinkerers who are willing to tinker a lot with the product. And the Chinese government also have a willingness to take more risks, and it can place big bets on AI because it has a different culture. Because while the US government, the US president have to work to win the next election, so they make a lot of decisions in order to win the next election. The Chinese government have a monopoly. I'm not happy about this because they infringe the human rights, but that's the case. They have a monopoly, so they can have a very long-term thinking, and they can focus on the long term, not just on winning the next election. So they can invest in a lot of money in AI and things like that. While in the US government, if they invest in a lot of money, citizens won't be happy because they will have to pay more taxes, or like the national debt will increase even more. And China also have an approach where they put out things into the wild, and they are willing to break it because they are not that afraid of the media, because they control the media. So if, for example, they put out a self-driving car, and that self-driving car would kill a few people, that wouldn't go into the news because they control the news. The book also says that while the US government is waiting for AI to adapt to them, so they are unwilling to adapt, the Chinese government is willing to evolve with the AI, and they are willing to adapt. So, yeah. And it says that there will be 4 AI waves. First is the internet internet AI, and these are about the recommendation engines that, for example, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all these social media platforms use. The second kind of AI wave, and we are after this second wave, is the business AI. And this business AI is a very broad category. So it's about optimizing dollars, collecting a lot of data. So for example, there is an insurance company called Lemonade who have an AI chatbot, and they are collecting data from that from their application, and then they analyze the behavior of the users with machine learning. And this is business AI. Another example would be like a doctor collecting data from the patients, and then with AI, for example, recognizing cancer and things like that. The third wave is the perception AI. And this AI is about recognizing images, sounds, and objects. So, for example, Spotify has an amazing recommendation engine where they recognize the sound, and it's quite amazing. And with this perception AI, the Chinese government is building a massive surveillance system, which is very scary. So I'm happy that I'm not there. So with these all kinds of sensors and cameras at public spaces, they are building a massive credit score. And the last kind of AI is the autonomous AI. And these are currently in the factories and farms where they can't harm humans, but the next big thing will be self-driving cars with Tesla and Google at the top. Then it said that we are watching from the wrong standpoint. So until now, we talked about this horse race, which country will win the AI race. And it said that the problem will be within the country. It will be with the unemployment and the job and the inequality. So we should talk about that. So AIs will replace a lot of jobs. For example, self-driving cars will replace the trucking industry, the taxi driver industry, and Uber, and all these. And the jobs will stay that require social skills and creativity. So they will be replaced the latest, or they won't be replaced. So these are the two possibilities. And it says that 80% of workers of the US workforce would be affected. 38% will be one-to-one replacement. So it's when a company, instead of hiring a new accountant, the company would hire an AI. And 10% from the ground up disruption. So this is when the whole industry changes. So instead of taxis, there will be self-driving cars. And when the whole industry is changing. And it says that job losses in China will be much more gradual. It will be a slower process because currently they are the robot manufacturing hub of the world. In drones especially, they are very at the top. And because with manufacturing they are the hub of the world. Like robots will do the manufacturing, but that robots will also have to be maintained, and there have to be sales and packaging. So it says that in China this will be a slower process, and we will also have even more inequality. We will have an even bigger wealth gap, and then we could say that a lot of people will be unemployed. Then everybody should be, for example, a healthcare worker, because that job won't be replaced. But the problem is that healthcare workers are already one of the lowest paid roles in our economy. And if everybody would like to work there because of the supply and demand, their wages would even decline. And while the CEOs and the rich people whose jobs won't be replaced because you can't replace a CEO, they will become even richer. And he says that he believes that we must build our shared future on AI's ability to think, but coupled with humans beings' ability to love. So he says that AIs are good at thinking, possibly better than humans, but humans are good at the humanitarian kind of things, so like loving, taking care, and things like that. So the current solution is a universal basic income said to us. So it says that the Silicon Valley elite wants to embrace UBI because it's an easy technical fix to a complex society-wide problem that they created. Because they would be the obvious target to the anger of the mobs if there would be a crisis, because they are very rich and the poor people would target the rich people. So UBI would be good for them because even though they would like the profits from the factories would get a massive cut, so a tax cut, they would still get richer and they would still get part of the profits, while the poor people wouldn't get the part of the profits. The author says that some form of UBI might be necessary, but it's not the whole solution. We should encourage human and AI synergy work. So, for example, a doctor might talk to the patients, reassure them, and things like that, while the AI would detect the problems, detect the cancer. So it's a nice synergy. And another kind of solution is introduction of social investment stipend. And this would be a decent government salary given to those who invest their time and energy in those activities that promote a kind, compassionate, and creative society. These would include 3 broad categories: care work, community service, and education. So I think it's a great idea. If you don't have work, you should build a healthier community. The only problem I see is that this would be difficult in a capitalist system. So how do you measure how much did you contribute to the health of the community? So it's a difficulty, but I think this is a great solution. So let's talk about the book. I think this was an interesting book, especially the solution part. About the China part, I have some concerns because the author is a Taiwanese VC venture capitalist investor, boasting with connections with China and the US, but I think his core holdings are in China. So he would interest by continued pouring investment into China if one person read this book and they think that they should invest in the Chinese AI economy, and then they would go to his fund. He would benefit from it. So I'm not entirely sure. And another thing that I'm concerned about is that this book might be promoted by the Chinese government, because I think the Chinese government invests a lot of time and energy and money to create a positive outlook about the Chinese economy in the rest of the world. So this book might be sponsored by some way in the Chinese government. Of course, I'm not sure about it. But the other side is that I don't know, maybe I'm just influenced by the US economy, and I don't want to know that the US economy will be disrupted by China. So it's difficult to hear the truth, and I'm planning to read more about this topic. And if I disappear tomorrow because the Chinese government robbed me because of my comments, then bye. So you should subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow my podcast if you are interested in stuff like this. I read one book every day and I share the things that I learned from that book. Recently, my main focus is AI, because I think AI will be very important in the future, and I put all my videos on AI into one playlist. So I will link that playlist in the description, and it's on the screen now. So thank you for coming in. I'm also available on Twitter. You can reach me there or in the comment section. Bye bye.